I decided to spend 30 days practicing complete silence. No over-explaining, no chasing validation, no seeking approval. Just silence, guided by the wisdom of the Stoics. What I discovered in those 30 days changed the way I see myself, my relationships, and the world around me. Silence isn't emptiness, it's power. And today, I'll show you why this 30-day journey taught me the true power of Stoicism. Hey, Stoic warrior, we live in a time where everyone feels the need to prove something, to prove they're right, to prove they're valuable, to prove they're enough. They explain, over-explain, and sometimes even beg, just to be noticed. But a Stoic, a true one, doesn't play that game. A Stoic doesn't beg for attention. A Stoic doesn't chase validation. A Stoic doesn't defend his worth to the world. Because he understands one thing: silence is strength. Most people, when they're hurt, rejected, or misunderstood, they rush to react. They chase. They explain. They try to repair what was broken by giving power to those who don't even deserve their words. But that's not courage. That's fear disguised as effort. You call, they ignore. You text again and again. You pour your heart into a message, hoping they'll finally see your value. But the more you explain, the smaller your power becomes. And that is not Stoic. Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus mastered silence, not because they didn't care, but because they understood something deeper. The more you value things beyond your control, the less control you truly have. When you chase someone's attention, when you beg for understanding, you hand over your peace. You say, "My happiness depends on how you respond." But that's not peace. That's imprisonment. True power is when someone disrespects you and you walk away quietly, not out of ego, but out of self-respect. Because dignity doesn't scream, it doesn't chase, it doesn't explain, it simply detaches, silently and completely. That silence isn't empty. It's self-discipline. It's self-respect. It's a calm confidence that says, "I don't need you to understand me to understand myself." And that silence terrifies people. Because when you stop reacting, they lose control. So today, we'll explore the kind of silence that doesn't weaken you. It builds you. The silence that makes your absence speak louder than your words ever could. The silence that transforms confusion into clarity and chaos into calm. We're going to break down 6 Stoic truths, 6 reasons why silence is not weakness, but one of the greatest superpowers a person can master. If you've ever felt misunderstood, overgiven, or begged for closure, this is your reminder to stop explaining and start evolving. Before we dive into point number 1, do one thing for your future self. Like this video if this already speaks to you. Drop your affirmation in the comments. Subscribe for weekly doses of Stoic growth and truth. And remember, one line, one idea, one moment in this video might just change the way you carry yourself for the rest of your life. Repeat this affirmation with me. My silence is my strength. Number 1, silence makes them feel your absence, not just hear your words. Have you ever noticed something powerful? When you stop explaining yourself, when you stop chasing, people suddenly start paying attention. That's the paradox of silence. The moment you stop trying to be heard, your absence becomes louder than any words could ever be. When someone hurts you, disrespects you, or walks away, your instincts scream, "Say something. Fix it. Make them understand." But here's the truth. The more you talk, the less they listen. The more you chase, the faster they run. The more you explain, the less they value your voice. Yet when you go silent, something shifts. Suddenly, they feel your absence. Not your anger, not your words, your absence. He who cannot understand your silence will never truly understand your words. Reimagined Stoic principle. The ancient Stoics knew this. Silence exposes truth, because silence isn't passive, it's a mirror. When you go quiet instead of defending yourself, you force people to face what they've done. It says, I saw your actions. I understood your intent. But I value my peace more than your apology. That's not ego. That's clarity. If they cared, they would reach out. If they respected you, they wouldn't need your explanation. If they had emotional depth, they'd already understand. So instead of chasing understanding, you hold your silence, and in that stillness, you reclaim your power. You stop bleeding energy trying to make sense of others. You stop trying to heal through conversations that only reopen old wounds. You stop begging to be seen by people who've already chosen blindness. Yes, silence can be uncomfortable. It can make others question, overthink, and even panic, because your silence reveals the truth they tried to hide. They start to wonder, why aren't they reacting? Did they stop caring? Did they move on? That's when the power shifts, because silence speaks what pride never could. It says, you no longer have access to me. You don't need to argue. You don't need to prove. You don't need to explain. Your stillness already said everything that needed to be said. My silence speaks louder than their noise. Number 2, in silence, you hear the truth. Louder. The world is loud. Everyone's talking. Everyone's trying to be heard. But the Stoic doesn't join the noise. He steps back into silence. Because silence isn't emptiness, it's clarity. When life hurts you, when someone betrays you, ignores you, or breaks your trust, your first instinct is to reach for noise. You text friends, seek advice, scroll for distractions. But the truth you're looking for never lives in noise. It lives in stillness. If something outside disturbs you, it's not the thing itself that troubles you, but your judgment of it. And you have the power to change that judgment. Inspired by Marcus Aurelius, when you finally get quiet, something sacred happens. The storm inside you begins to settle, and when the waves calm, the truth rises to the surface. You start hearing the thoughts that pain had been drowning. They never respected me. I just didn't want to see it. I'm not angry that they left. I'm angry that I stayed too long. I don't need closure. I need peace. That's the gift of silence. It separates emotion from wisdom. It turns chaos into clarity. When you rush to react, your emotions take the wheel. When you sit in silence, your values take the wheel. That's why Stoics didn't argue with the world. They observed it, reflected on it, and acted from stillness. Modern society glorifies noise. Speak your truth. Defend your side. Don't stay silent. But true power doesn't come from reacting louder. It comes from responding smarter. Because when you stay silent, you start to see. You see who respects your peace and who only loves your attention. You see who reaches out when you pull back, and who disappears when you stop giving. You don't have to ask, do they care? Their actions will answer. So stop looking for clarity from people who confuse you. Stop chasing truth from those who lie to themselves. The answers you need aren't out there. They're in you, waiting for you to be quiet long enough to hear them. When I am silent, the truth becomes clear. Number 3, begging for closure is self-betrayal. Let's be honest. Everyone wants closure. We crave that final conversation, that honest explanation, that one ending that makes the pain make sense. But here's the harsh truth. If they truly cared, you would never have to beg for closure. They would have given you truth the first time. When you chase closure from someone who broke you, you hand them the power to hurt you again. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Inspired by Epictetus. The Stoic doesn't chase endings. He creates them with silence. You see, when you demand explanations from someone who disrespected you, you're not seeking peace. You're seeking permission to move on. And that's not strength. That's self-abandonment disguised as healing. Here's what really happens. You pour your heart out, hoping they'll finally understand. But they don't, because people who hurt you rarely see the damage they cause. They listen to reply, not to reflect. They justify, not to apologize. And when you walk away empty, you call it unresolved. But it was already resolved, the moment they chose silence over sincerity. Real closure doesn't come from their words. It comes from your decision. It's the moment you realize, I don't need them to understand my worth. I just need to remember it. You stop rewriting messages that will never be sent. You stop rehearsing confrontations that will never happen. You stop waiting for someone who's already shown they don't care. And in that quiet surrender, you rise. Closure is not a door they close for you. It's a door you close yourself, softly but completely. And you don't look back. So stop bleeding through your words trying to fix people who cut you. Stop begging for clarity from those who confuse you on purpose. Go silent. Let your peace speak the goodbye your mouth no longer needs to say. I don't chase closure. I create it through silence. Number 4. Silence reveals. What words try to hide. When you go quiet, something powerful happens. The truth starts to breathe. Words are beautiful, but they can also deceive. They can paint false promises, hide intentions, and create illusions of sincerity. But silence doesn't lie. What you do speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you say. Ralph Waldo Emerson. The Stoics knew this long before us. They didn't judge people by their apologies. They judged them by their consistency. They didn't listen to words. They watched behavior. Because silence exposes the things conversation tries to bury. When you stop defending yourself, when you stop trying to explain, people reveal themselves in ways they can't control. The honest ones, they'll miss your presence. They'll reach out, ask, reflect, maybe even change. But the manipulative ones, they'll vanish because your silence starves the attention they feed on. And the ones who sought control will grow irritated because your calm exposes their chaos. You don't have to test people anymore. Just step back and let silence do the testing for you. It's simple. Stop texting, stop chasing, stop explaining, and watch. See who checks in when you're no longer available. See who fades when you stop giving. See who gets angry when you refuse to react. That's the truth, raw and unfiltered. Most people think silence is weak, but it's actually a mirror. And not everyone likes what it reflects. Your stillness forces others to confront their own actions. It removes the performance, the excuses, the noise. Because people can argue with your words, but they can't argue with your absence. They can twist your statements, but they can't rewrite the peace that comes when you stop responding. Silence, in its purest form, is not passive. It's observant. It's decisive. It's saying, I no longer participate in your confusion. That's the Stoic way. Calm doesn't mean careless. Distance doesn't mean indifference. It means you value your clarity more than their chaos. Affirmation for point number 4. My silence exposes the truth louder than any argument ever could. Number 5. Not explaining yourself is the highest form of confidence. Weak minds crave validation. Strong minds move in silence. When you stop explaining yourself, you stop giving others permission to question your purpose. Every time you justify your decisions, you hand someone else the power to doubt them. And every time you try to make people understand your path, you step off it. Just a little. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. You don't owe anyone an explanation for why you disappeared, for why you're focused, for why you're changing. Growth doesn't come with subtitles, and not everyone deserves to understand your silence. The truth is, people who demand explanations often aren't seeking clarity. They're seeking control. They want you to defend your peace so they can disturb it again. Stop feeding that. When you act from conviction, your actions will explain what your words never could. When you say no without guilt, that's confidence. When you walk away without defending, that's mastery. The man who must explain every move is still seeking permission to exist. The man who simply moves already owns his place in the world. Remember this: you can't convince someone who's committed to misunderstanding you. So stop talking and start showing. Let your results become the argument. Let your discipline become your defense. Let your silence become your statement. Because every explanation is an energy leak, and a focused mind bleeds for no one. You don't have to prove your worth to those who can't see it. You just have to become it. That's the Stoic way. Calm, certain, unbothered. A quiet force that doesn't need to shout. I don't explain my path, I walk it. Number 6, embrace discomfort. It's the only way you grow. Pain is the doorway. Discomfort is the teacher. And those who run from it remain weak. Every man says he wants strength, but strength is never given. It's forged, and the forge is always fire. When you step into discomfort, cold showers, long silence, early mornings, discipline when no one's watching, you enter the space where most men quit. That's where you separate yourself. If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Epictetus. The world has made comfort a god, but comfort is a slow death. It makes you forget your hunger, your purpose, your edge. Discomfort strips that away. It humbles you. It shows you where you're still soft. And it forces you to face the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. When you train your mind to walk willingly into pain, life stops scaring you. Because you've already been through the fire, and you came out sharper. Every moment you resist the urge to quit, you become harder to break. Every day you choose discipline over ease, you build armor over your emotions. Discomfort isn't punishment, it's preparation. It teaches your mind to adapt when things fall apart. It reminds you that pain doesn't last, but weakness does. So when the mind says stop, the Stoic says, good, now the real work begins. Remember this, the comfort zone is where your potential goes to die. Step beyond it, bleed a little, fail a little, rise again, because comfort builds cowards. Discomfort builds men. I don't chase comfort, I chase growth. Number 7, detach from outcomes. Master your control. The moment you need something to go your way, you've already lost control. The Stoic doesn't chase outcomes, he masters his actions, because outcomes live in chaos, but actions belong to you. When you depend on results for peace, you hand your emotions to chance. You live like a leaf, blown by every wind that changes direction. But when you learn to detach, to act with purpose, to give your all and expect nothing, you become unshakable. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius: detach from praise, detach from failure, detach from the noise, because the world loves to distract warriors with illusion, likes, money, validation, applause. None of it matters. The Stoic knows success isn't peace, discipline is. When you do what must be done, without caring who sees, without needing the reward, you become dangerous. Most people live in reaction. They win, they're happy. They lose, they break. But the Stoic walks straight through both victory and defeat with the same face, because neither owns him. Detachment isn't apathy, it's clarity. It's saying, I control what I give, not what I get. And that mindset frees you. Detach, and you'll find your peace again. Detach, and nothing outside of you can shake what's inside of you. Because when you no longer need anything, you own everything. I act with purpose, not attachment. I own my peace. Number 8, face death, and you'll truly learn to live. Most people run from death, but the Stoic walks beside it, calm, aware, unafraid. Because when you face death, you stop wasting time on what doesn't matter. You stop chasing approval. You stop fearing rejection. You stop explaining yourself to people who will one day vanish too. Everything you love, everything you fight for, everything you think will last forever is temporary. And that's not tragedy, that's liberation. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Marcus Aurelius. When you remember that, you stop waiting for the right moment. You stop holding back your truth. You stop letting fear control your steps. Death is not the enemy. Wasted life is. The Stoic doesn't seek to escape death. He seeks to deserve life. He knows every sunrise is borrowed time. Every breath is a gift from the universe that expects gratitude, not excuses. So he acts. He speaks truth. He loves deeply. He forgives silently. He walks with purpose, because he knows the clock is always ticking. When you face death, you begin to live differently. You stop proving yourself. You start being yourself. You stop surviving. You start becoming. And one day, when death finally comes, you won't tremble. You'll nod, because you'll know you didn't just exist. You lived with honor, courage, and peace. I do not fear death. I fear living without purpose. My silence, my actions, and my peace will outlive me.